Sorry if it looks weird. Yeah, give them the screen thing. It's a bit weird. So let's say this place. You have to pick a place to build. Let's say modded all that on, so we can have a. Yeah, I forgot about the Halo mod. Different Halo things. Anyway, let's say you would have. Where is it? It's in the normal one, isn't it? Yep. So we're gonna have a helicopter here. So this is where you're gonna land. So you would have sort of. Presume you would want a fence system. So you would have your helicopter spot. You want to have of course you probably have multiple people here. So let's say if you wanted, you have your helicopter spot. You can then put a piece of metal here for people to hop up. Might do it for let's say like ain't working that well. There we go. You can still hop up. So you have someone here like with a machine gun. Probably something a bit more. Yeah, you have someone with a machine gun and basically the entire defense. It's a bit loud if it. Sorry, it's loud for me. So we could have that there. We could probably the best thing we could do so far is just as we have the fence there, just have concrete no sense then, but concrete barriers across spaces. Then you would probably want a bit of cover. Probably be like a wall bit. And then you would basically have this coming on all the way around. You can use generally like probably these props might be good for bullet stopping if you have the mods on, because I believe nothing can get through this, and for this I believe this gun's not doing it right, but normally when I test. Ah, strange. Must be just my side, but certain mods with the M9K will let them go through props. But anyway, let's put this back on, even though I broke it. So if you did have the sort of where the bullets go through, this is what else you could have with it. So the bullets would go through, then get stuck. And that's gonna be that. The rest of this I could probably just leave fully open, but let's put another plane in here, or something a bit armed. I won't do a Pelican, let's do a Sea Knight. So let's say we have the cargo helicopter. So we'd use this for supplies, you know, just simple runs of things. You probably put a bunch of men in and do a base assault. This is all just using what's on this map, and it's gonna be very simple. So we can have that there. To be fairly open. We have a couple fences around. We won't over fence this because we want easy way to get stuff into the helicopter. I put a border fence on here. So what I'm guessing is gonna be probably one of the better. Oh, that's a broken fence. A good idea is to have. I'm not guessing. I'm presuming you would want probably a quick escape vehicle other than a helicopter. A third one. Red Osprey fit in here. Nope. Do I have to go with Halo ones? I might have to. This seems to make more sense because I believe Halo ones get them around, they have... Well, this one probably doesn't. I don't know. Anyway, let's use the Halo ones just for a sort of idea here, and then we would... We're playing... Make more sense for a helicopter, so let's just use another the other Halo one. God damn it. Careful when I'm placing this in. So let's say... I put it... So these vehicles will probably never move, these are more or less just... Let's, like you say, base got attacked, something stupid, whatever, you're escaping the base. That's what you would take. Where the heck's the other thing? Is that it? Yeah, is that it? The most clunkiest thing ever, let's just pop this in. Yeah, that's that. So we have 4 vehicles. 2 will probably mainly be used more than to emergencies to get the people out of the base. So, the base. Mainly we just want this to confuse the enemy how big the actual space is that people have. So we're going to have it reinforced. Let's try and have... Come on. There we go, that's... Then I want this overlapping just a tad. It will do, this is not going to be a permanent thing, so for just example you would have this here, so you can, in theory, it's hard to see with the balconies, and you've got sort of, people up here have got a view that they can shoot down to a certain limit, and if you build it like this, you sort of a attack gap, so that's sorted, so we would want a way up, so let's get a steel beam. Trays as stairs, and you can probably use it like this, but I might tilt it just a bit more. So you were sort of, let's get a so-called chair. So realistically, you would hop on the chair, just climb up the metal beam, hop up, and then you're sorted. Ain't for mass use, really. So this is where it's going to get a bit confusing, because I don't think you can actually use a concrete barrier like this, but let's say if you could put a concrete barrier like this. You start lobbing concrete barriers on here, so you can straighten it up. Yeah, in. There we go. There's that, we can... Same metal barrels will do. You can hopefully if we do this right, we can put that, oh, not angled, that there, put it a bit tighter, and do this like this. So then you'd I think, oop, clunk. We put this way. I'm presuming if the angle is just about right, I can squeeze through here. So you would have this here, you can have a guard here, guards here, and that's all protected. And if you want, you can add more here, but really that is a solid design. So let's now put it to some tests. So we're gonna have a couple of guards guarding the helicopter, a couple over here, some over here, some over here, a couple over here, then the rest of it can be open. And then we can have a couple garden here, then a couple here. Then we have a couple inside. So, this is only testing if there's a play away for people to get it. I know players will probably defend better and communicate better, but the AI is just going to be an example. So we're going to use Spider-Man gun. That's the next underneath for that. What main weapon do I want to use? Let's get some machine gun and let's use a MP9. There we go. So in theory, I could just use I might use an MP9. Actually, I might use this. Be a bit more better from this range. So as you can see, you can't really get a good shot. You can get a couple good firing spots, but all intents you would have to either realistically climb the building through the inside or grapple lock it. Whereas I'm doing this. Might get a bit frame rate here because of the guts blood, the guts and the blood bit of the mod I've put on. So wherever you would assault this base from, the simplest thing to do is always take cover. And realistically, you wouldn't just solo this. If you had players, you would have like a team of 4 from different directions to assault it all at once, trying to tactically take it down. And the best you would try and do is keep all things that you can keep. So weapons you probably nick. You definitely would nick the helicopters and that. Let's use a grenade. It's getting a bit frame rated when I start killing them quickly. If I shoot them in the knee, they will die. So realistically, you would probably use a shotgun of sorts. As you see, upstairs was a bit of a choke point. So from this is a proper choke point. And even if you could breach this far, you would have all the enemies inside to worry about. And I just did a bit of a showcase of this. So after if you cleared the base, you'd be like, yeah, that. If it was a Dark RP server or something along those lines, we have things that make money or whatever, you would probably destroy or nick whatever you probably would rather nick, as you can put it in the cargo helicopter. So let's take off the cargo helicopter, see if it is possible to use the landing base that I created. So this is also just an example of what you could do with a base that would look cooler, but it would be very simple. You would more or less do this with actual people, but if you didn't, you would probably use it for a roleplay aspect. So the helicopter works fine. As I am not the best of landing, I would just put it in the water because it'd be quicker and less killing me. Never mind. So you can fly that if you had some better skill than me. So let's hit the little bird. Flop in the water, just what I'm gonna do. Come on. Roses up. And hop out. So that would basically be that. So you could take off if you were a better pilot than me. So these two are the more worrying ones. So these would be more or less the military style sort of things you would want to take quickly. So you probably squad up, have at least one pilot, at least one person in every vehicle. I might be able to land this one maybe. I'll pop the thing before it takes off again. And then this, I presume it would do the same. It would just go boo doo 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 doo. And that's what you would do in this sort of situation. You would have, if you had vehicles, you would store vehicles in a orderly manner. If you had rooftops, you would defend and have sort of guards. But then most probably you would block off the rooftops if it was just you. But there's that. So that's what you do with base, but for a zombie apocalypse style, your vehicles will probably look more like junk, like this. So if I could find a way to hop in, like here, you'll probably be like, I have a man in the back, and a driver and a passenger. So let's do base slash sort of this. So if we do the vehicle first, choose a clock. So if we tighten up the time without it, ooh. It's very awkward this. So tighten that up. So if you loosen that, you could, of course, knock it over and hop in when you're in a safe spot. And it closes pretty fine. So then you got the back door, which you wouldn't really use, but we would. I guess I'm gonna say that's too big. It's well too big. You get a bit of metal, so you can't really get cover. Weld this together. So you would probably have someone in the back. If it weren't Gmod, you would probably have more than one person in the back. Even then, it'd be a bit tricky sometimes with Gmod. So we have that. It's more armor than it was before, so for improvements we are gonna have some basic just defense systems like a sign. Which will sign be useful. The clock's also a bit of a job for us, but we are gonna fill that with something. And I'm gonna guess we can lob a ladder on the roof. Bit sideways. We can. I'm not gonna use that's probably gonna be too heavy. That's not right enough. Not stable. Not stable. Well, too big. Well, it's not oversized and be decent to fill up the gap. It'll probably be a metal sheet. And I've just knocked that out of the way, haven't I? So we'd have that on there, then that side's covered. And then, to test this, I don't know if I'm going third person, I forgot. Does it see? No. Yep, there we go. V. So we have, it's a bit glitchy. Best survival vehicle ever. So if you did it right, that's just a showcase of what you could do. It could work. This has been the most naffy stream ever I've done. I'm clueless what to do. guess I could probably do a bit of show off some weapons I have. So let's have a look. We have this. So really, to defend the base, you would have weapons. So if you were admin on this server, whatever you're doing, you have sort of a shotgun machine gun times 10 billion. And then destruction shores. Then we have some Black Ops guns. So we have a pretty good, AK. It's fairly accurate. Then we have an AUG with a decent sight. So you would probably have your indoors cover, mid range. You have your long range. You would have your sort of standard when you're running around gun. Then you have what you would probably mount more or less. And you would have your anti-air. You probably give this to a scouting party. This would definitely be like, you would put this in certain guard areas where you would just have 2 men and that's it, nothing else watching. Very simple stuff. I guess you could probably use this for if in a base defense. It's also these overlap each other. You have basic standard machine guns, but yes, again, like the FAMAS, more or less like this and the Commander, the very basic. You would probably run around with these, very simple, very accurate and reliable machine guns. What, the M16A1? Probably the same role, really. Simple running around. Then we have this mod. Just wacky, just I guess it works as what you'd expect. Brick. The Beretta. It's weird. And more strange weapons. The Glock. So if you was defending a base, these will all be standard weapons. Something you would probably mount to a helicopter. Makes no sense really. Grenade. Standard. Sledgehammer. Knock, I don't know what else would you use it for. Revolvers, I don't know, you have snipers, you have sword offs. So really this mod is sort of your standard, I guess, weapons. They're fairly strange. You got the mass. So you have your machine gun fire, then you have your burst. Then you have probably one of the more better weapon mods. You would have your many things. You would have this.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
If you were doing certain things, you have your decent weapons. You would have. I have to admit, the snipers are probably the worst thing in the mod, but because they're quite shaky. You have all the equipment you want. So this is quite a good mod actually. We got some knives, we got some CSGO weapons. You have many mods here which will probably do a job. We got a ray gun. The glitchy one. So for more base defense talks, you got many weapons. Okay. Pricks quest. Hi, thanks for saying that, whatever. I'm just thinking what I just was about to say because I lost my mind slightly when I was talking. Okay, so I just remembered. So if you're building basically did before and showed off, like you would have certain key features, weapons. I was just going through them now, but a good thing to have is a good fallback plan. So let's say you would have your base above this or some sort of road. Let's say it was an enemy convoy or some sort of ground vehicles coming through here. You would have planted traps. You could probably have mines if you had mines on a mod or something, but anyway. C4 is a very good weapon. As let's say you want to just do a firework display at work, and claymores. Probably the more dangerous, but let's say you were backed off in the corner. No one else was left outside. You just wanted to trap someone, so we would lob it there, then you would lob one there. The end. Either they shoot it or they die. and that's how that would work. I have some random mods for zombies. We have more machine guns and all that. Some random weapons for different mods. I guess glow sticks if you want to signal someone, like commence the attack with a red glow stick. The end. So I was gonna say you have different mods. Probably the best thing to have in a base is snipers, really, to cover. So let's say you're here something, you want a simple light to handle sniper. This gun would probably do. And let's say you would in a balcony window or whatever's over here, you would be attacking. You would more or less, if I can, it moves by itself. This is a lovely mod, but pain in the ass. Snipers, there we go. If you were attacking, you'd probably use one of them. Simple, you would have your grenade launchers and all that. RPGs, all that, if you simply was going to attack. And I don't want to go into nukes. But simply base, you need a bunch of different weapons, that do different certain jobs. Even melee weapons would probably be a good thing, because realistically a base defense could take less than 10 minutes to over, I don't know, a couple of days realistically, but in game probably like an hour or so. But if you did run out of ammo and there was no way of getting it back, you might need a melee weapon to get you out of that sticky situation. And if you're in a high base, you could probably, I think this, I know the mod I can use. If it would drop me properly. You could probably bungee jump, jokingly, or grapple all the way down. And there you go, and you're on the ground. So, other than having helicopters, there are explosive devices you can use like this. Oh, it's arms. Just ditch this quickly. Oh, that's a nuke. Run! You have your bombs and all that. You can have, I guess, if you're attacking, you would have ladders you could probably carry around to assault a base if it's in the right context. I don't know what else to say. Mods I can probably explain. I showed before aircraft, but you could also have ground vehicles. Mostly you'd rather use ground vehicles in a zombie apocalypse than air vehicles, because fuel will be limited, and air vehicles will probably be like a last resort to get away from a mass area. And probably very few people will be left to pilot them. So let's see. Oop, know what I'm doing. Currently, so let's have a look at base designs and things if we pop up. So we come on to this. We have a simple bunker, which, if you was using this in a general base, this would be more or less a guard post you have in a checkpoint system. So we'd open the door, hop in. It's in Russian. So you'd have opening, closing. You have many sorts of the bunker where you would have a couple men guarding as a simple checkpoint system. That's what this. That's a mansion. Buildings. See if we can see any military base or something that feels more militarized. Double-decker fortress. Well, it counts. To explain. So, let's say you would own this base. I'll just have a kind of a quick exploration. It's quite actually a good base. So, let's say you was going to attack this base. You would have guards all around. I'm going to just simply put the lift somewhere where it's less attackable. Up you come. Lift, but if you were going to attack this base, the first thing you'd either do is bombard it from the air, or take out the legs. So we're going to do the air assault first. The bombs, let's choose these bombs because it's a bit more reliable. Menu, da 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 da. Let's just grab a 250-pound bomb. So as it's such a large and kind of not camouflaged target, you would probably put this like in the water somewhere. This would make more sense in the water, definitely, but bombs away. You can drop the bomb and bit of lag, and you should get the effect there. Kaboom. For that lagged even more, that's what you could if you had airstrikes, or you couldn't do things like that. So that's there. Let's put it in flat ground. And then there's that. Let's just bad idea. I see what I meant. So, any other way of attacking this would be to make sense to take out the legs, like I said before. So let's just get soldier gun. So like you would, realistically, to cause panic, you probably fire a couple, take out the guards, but so if I didn't freeze it, realistically this base would not work unfrozen. But as you get the point, you take our leg, it will all collapse. There's that one. So we have a modern cabin. So, oh, this is a good one. An outpost tower, so if you had in the woods, you can look out and see. So, yes, again, it'd be more of a take out the legs sort of deal. So, grab a shotgun. So realistically, you'd be couldn't find your way through, but what could you really do to save yourself, really? Well, simplest way if you can take these out is either kill the person at the top and then you sort of claimed it, or that didn't work. Set charges, go away, set more charges on different ones, and kaboom. It's a bit of lag, but that's what you would do normally to, in a way, take out the tower, because even if the person inside doesn't die and things doesn't fall over because for some reason it's probably God, and this, and some reason it's not, I believe this is actually sneakily knocked me out of the wood. And some reason it's glitched, but it won't fall, but that should fall. And then you would probably take it out. And cause more panic in a bigger base. Let's have a look at some bases, if there is any. There's a flag. More flags. Let's just do a house quickly to explain. So if you own this house and put this looks like a big float. Make more sense. So if this was your target to take out a structure or building inside of a compound, I would say you more or less would find something like this. For some reason I believe it can fly.